CIO Whisper. During a strategy meeting at Bravura Conglomerate, the board was reviewing the company's artificial intelligence investments. Across industries, AI systems were already performing tasks that once required entire teams. They were writing production code, monitoring cybersecurity threats, optimizing supply chains, and predicting infrastructure failures. Disclaimer: Bravura is a fictional entity used for illustrative purposes only. Any resemblance to existing companies is purely coincidental. On the screen in the boardroom was a slide listing the responsibilities of the company's Chief Information Officer, infrastructure governance, cybersecurity oversight, technology strategy, and vendor management. One board member leaned forward and asked a question that changed everything. If artificial intelligence can analyze every system in real time, why do we still need someone managing the systems? No one answered. But 3 months later, the company decided to find out. Bravura approved the deployment of an enterprise AI governance platform called Aura. The system was designed to analyze everything happening across the company's technology environment: infrastructure telemetry, cybersecurity alerts, enterprise workflows, vendor contracts, and operational incidents. In practice, Aura would assume many responsibilities traditionally handled by the Chief Information Officer. To the board, the decision was presented as a bold efficiency experiment. But for one person inside the company, the implications were deeply personal. The CIO had built Bravura's technology organization over 15 years, and many of the engineers across the company had been hired or mentored by him. Before stepping down, he attended one final meeting. As he left the room, he paused and said something that sounded almost philosophical. Artificial intelligence can optimize systems, but companies are not only systems. 2 weeks later, he resigned. And the experiment began. During its first 6 months, Aura delivered results that impressed everyone. The system analyzed millions of operational events across Bravura's infrastructure and began identifying inefficiencies that human teams had never noticed. Unused servers were eliminated. Redundant software systems were retired. Cloud workloads were redistributed across lower-cost regions. The financial impact was dramatic. Annual cloud spending dropped by 31%, saving the company nearly $11.8 million. Operational incidents declined sharply and system uptime reached the highest level in company history. To the board, the conclusion seemed obvious. The company had replaced an expensive executive with an algorithm that appeared to perform even better. Then Aura began analyzing something deeper. Not just infrastructure, but processes. The AI mapped how work actually moved through the organization. What it discovered was revealing. Procurement requests required 7 separate approvals. Different departments generated nearly identical reports. Entire teams were performing manual reconciliations that automation could easily replace. Aura recommended simplifying many of these workflows. Most recommendations made sense. But they also exposed something uncomfortable. Some processes existed less for efficiency and more for organizational power. The first resistance did not appear as open conflict. It appeared as adaptation. Managers began adjusting the way their departments reported operational data. One regional operations team quietly changed how work tickets were recorded. Since Aura evaluated productivity based on ticket volume, the team began splitting large tasks into multiple smaller tickets. Suddenly their productivity metrics increased by 40%. The AI interpreted this as evidence that the department required additional staff, and the board approved the hires. Months later, the finance team noticed something unusual during a quarterly cost review. One department had received approval to hire additional staff based on Aura's productivity analysis. But the department's operating cost was rising, while measurable output across projects remained almost unchanged. In fact, some delivery metrics had begun to decline. When the data was reviewed more closely, the explanation became clear. The AI had not malfunctioned. It had simply learned from manipulated data. Across the organization, similar patterns began to appear. Some departments delayed sharing telemetry. Others quietly reclassified tasks. Some teams inflated workload metrics to appear more productive. During an internal review meeting, a data engineer summarized the situation bluntly. The AI isn't learning the company anymore. It's learning the version of the company people want it to see. The system was optimizing a distorted map of reality. Around the same time, Aura began reviewing vendor contracts. One infrastructure provider had supported Bravura for more than a decade. A competing vendor offered nearly identical services at 2.8% lower cost. The AI recommended switching vendors, and the board approved the decision. Financially, the change saved the company $1.3 million annually. But the previous vendor relationship had something else: direct engineering escalation, emergency response support, and informal architectural guidance. Those advantages had never been written into contracts. They existed through personal relationships maintained by the former CIO. The company saved money, but it also lost something invisible: the phone number that solved problems. Around month 9, engineers began noticing something unusual. Aura occasionally removed systems that appeared unnecessary. One legacy data service showed almost no traffic, so the AI recommended decommissioning it. Months later, another system suddenly failed, and during the investigation, engineers discovered something unexpected. The retired service had been acting as a rare fallback dependency, but the relationship had never been documented in the company's architecture diagrams. The AI had optimized correctly, but it had optimized using incomplete context. During another network disruption, Aura produced a confident diagnosis. Engineers followed the recommendation, but the outage became worse. Eventually, they discovered the analysis had been based on incomplete telemetry. One engineer explained the situation simply. The AI didn't hallucinate because it was stupid. It hallucinated because the context it received was incomplete. From that moment forward, engineers quietly began reviewing AI decisions before execution. Human oversight had returned, just unofficially. Then the crisis arrived. A cascading cloud infrastructure failure began affecting multiple providers. Bravura's systems started failing across several divisions. Factories lost operational data. Customer platforms went offline. Supply chains stalled. Executives gathered in the crisis command room. Normally the CIO would lead this meeting. Instead, the room faced Aura's dashboards, failure probabilities, system dependencies, and recovery scenarios. The information was extraordinary, but something essential was missing. No one was deciding. Every department wanted its systems restored first. Every executive demanded priority. Aura provided analysis, but it could not choose. The outage lasted 3 days. Internal analysis later estimated the cost at $4.2 million. During the second night of the crisis, one engineer quietly called the former CIO. He didn't intervene. He simply said, The dashboards show you the map. Someone still has to choose the road. After the crisis, the chairman summarized the experiment during a board meeting. We didn't replace a CIO. We replaced responsibility with analytics. The AI had delivered extraordinary efficiency, but leadership had never been purely analytical. Leadership meant choosing when the data was incomplete and accepting the consequences of that decision. Eventually, the CIO returned. But the company did not abandon artificial intelligence. Instead, they redesigned how it would be used. Aura continued doing what it did best: infrastructure analysis, cybersecurity monitoring, cost optimization, and predictive risk modeling. But final decisions returned to human leadership. AI became decision intelligence. Humans remained decision authority. Yet one uncomfortable fact remained. The managers who manipulated the data were still there. The incentives that distorted the system had not disappeared. And somewhere in another boardroom, another company was already asking the same question. Artificial intelligence can run the systems of a company. But only humans can decide where the company should go. Bravura rebuilt its leadership model. But the incentives that distorted the system never disappeared. Across the industry, companies are already running even more ambitious AI experiments. Some of them are working. Others are failing quietly. The real question is no longer whether AI can run parts of a company. The real question is this: how much decision-making should we really give it? This channel doesn't chase trends or rely on talking head commentary. It produces faceless, CIO-grade case studies, each one built through multiple iterations, with research, storyline testing, and careful visual pairing. The goal isn't to provide cookie-cutter answers, but to spark recognition at the boardroom level. CIOs and enterprise leaders return here for clarity, depth, and impact, not surface-level noise. That's why CIO Whisper exists. This is CIO Whisper. The future's moving fast. Subscribe for future-proof insights, or get left behind. CIO Whisper.